Hi guys, welcome to another video in this channel, the Academy. I haven't actually recorded a video here yet. All the previous ones had been recorded and posted on my other channel. So I'm happy that we now have our own space here, and you guys are here just for the tutorials and for what I'm going to be teaching. It's very exciting because then it doesn't feel weird uploading tutorials where somebody's expecting to see a travel video. So in this tutorial, I wanted to show you a part of the video that I uploaded for the trip to Bonn. I did some animations using some images and I brought them to life. I believe sometimes when you are trying to tell a story you haven't shot the video for that section, you could use images to explain the story better and provide more powerful context by using images and kind of adding life to them. So I'm going to show you the part I'm talking about, and then after that I'll show you what the timeline looks like on Final Cut Pro and how I brought it to life. So let's jump into how the video actually looks like. The thing, I wasn't actually going to upload this video, but it was a moment that I really enjoyed, and it was an experience, basically an adventure that I recorded when I was heading to Bonn with my wife, and it was really interesting because we were going there to find the cherry blossoms, and I don't know, check if we found them or not. It's something that I enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy as well. Bit of the adventure side, but in a different location, not Tanzania. And yeah. So that's the video and that's how it looks like. And when we jump onto the timeline over here, I'll just show you kind of like the layout of how it looks like. Starting off with the track. The track is here as the background. It's what's playing. I'll switch off all these other things so you can actually hear it. So that's just the track in the background. And that really plays a big role to how the actual video comes out, because if this part of the video played without a soundtrack, it could have sounded a bit weird. So it's good to have a bit of that background and to kind of set the mood. It was a bit of an adventure track. It kind of had a bit of culture to it. It was, even though I was in Germany, I think the track is more of a, Latino background soundtrack. Kind of create a bit of a cultural texture, I would say. So that's what I create. I got from Epidemic Sound, and then the next part that played a really big role for this video was the sound effects. So the sound effects really played a big role. I'll play this video for you without the sound effects so you can actually hear it. And you just have the voiceover. So this is how it sounded. So here's the thing, I wasn't actually going to upload this video, but it was a moment that I really enjoyed, and it was an experience, basically an adventure that I recorded when I was... So I'll take out also the voiceover, and then we can hear it without any sound, so you can actually hear what it would look like if it was just pictures moving up and down. As you can see right now, there isn't really any umph because you don't have the sound effects. The sound effects give the motion of the images more life. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll switch on the sound effects so that you can actually hear them, and I'll turn off the music in the background so you can just hear the sound effects themselves and the images. All right, so those small things that you add for the sound effects really plays a huge role when you're creating these animations. And whenever you're making any video, you need to spend a bit more time in the sound effects department. What I used to do a lot of times is that I'll work a lot on the color grading, I'll work a lot on the edit, the cut, and I would you know, at the end, try to work on the sound design and be already kind of like tired of the project. So I don't put a lot of emphasis on it. So what I do nowadays is like I'll make a video and then maybe take a break, come in the next day and just do the sound design. So this is what I did for this video, because then it allows me to have more interest in, you know, this part, which generally I do at the end of any edit. So I'll show you here what I've done as well to add a bit more you know, life to the images. What I've done is I taken all these images from Unsplash, I downloaded them and I took them into Photoshop, took out the background of those images and then brought them as PNGs onto my project folder. And then what I did now is that, for example, here with the selection of the USB, I keyframed the USB to come from the bottom of the screen coming up. So I just keyframed that position from bottom to up. I'll just show you here in the video animation. What I did is I have a keyframe here, and the keyframe basically is moving from bottom going all the way up. The shaking effect is actually an effect that I just added. It's a handheld effect here on Final Cut Pro. If you go to the bottom here and you go to stylized, you can actually add in a handheld effect, and that makes that kind of motion. The reason why I added that is that I felt like if I didn't have the motion, it would have just felt a bit too boring. It would have just been the USB moving up. The fact that you have the texture of the paper moving in the background, and then also you have the USB and the YouTube logo moving, kind of brings it to life rather than it feeling a bit too static. So I used the handheld effect for that. I used it in, I think, most of the images here, just so that they have a little bit of motion rather than for them to be static. Again, if I take out the handheld feature here, you'd see that this image just stands and it kind of feels a bit boring. So the handheld part added a bit of animation to this sequence. Okay, so let's jump again here. Same thing, keyframing it from left to right, moving it up, and then after that moving the image down to the bottom and moving also the map to the right side. Then here I just added a bit of a film transition. It's a light leak, an 8mm film video, and for this portion I just changed the blend mode to hard light so that you're able to see. So if I take out this from hard light and I just have it as normal, you wouldn't be actually able to see the camera in the background. So by changing the blend mode to hard light, you're able to see the camera and get that effect of kind of that old film. I just wanted to have to bring all these different images to life every single time they came onto the screen. So when I brought the images of, for example, the hearts here, like I had the heartbeat beating, and all these sound effects that I brought onto this project, I downloaded them on Epidemic Sound. They have a huge collection of effects, sound effects, and also music. Even the music itself I found from Epidemic Sound. You can check the link down below to get like a 30-day free trial from my link. And it's a lifesaver for me because I'm able to get all the sounds that I need, and also whenever I'm looking for a specific soundtrack and I don't want to have any issues with copyright, that's where I get all my sound. So here I added the heartbeat sound. When we transitioned onto the cherry blossoms, I added some nature sounds of birds in the background. You can hear them here. So very subtle. And then after that, the transition as it moved, as you can see here, as the image of me and the image of the cherry blossoms were moving away, I added the paper transition again, just to bring life to that motion of, those images moving. If I switched that off, it would be a little bit weird, right? It would just be a transition. But just the fact that I added the paper made it feel a little bit more realistic, like a chapter is opening. So this transition, that's how I made it. I brought it to life. I took some images, I cropped them out, and then after that, I made them have a little bit of movement. added some keyframe, positioning them from one area to the other in the screen, and added some sound effect. You can play around with images and bring them to life just with your editing software. You can do this in Premiere Pro. You can also do this in DaVinci Resolve. So whichever software you're using, as long as you're able to do some keyframing, you're also able to add in some sound design. You're able to take images and bring them to life. And that's what I did for that portion. I know some of you guys were asking me about it. So I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough. If you want me to do a video on exactly how I keyframe, I can do that. Just comment down below and I'll show you how I keyframe and make those images move from one area of the screen to the next part of the screen. I'm more than happy to do that tutorial. This one was a bit of a walkthrough so you can just see what was happening, because if you don't see the back end, it might seem like it's a lot of effort, but it's actually not a lot of effort. It's just moving things from one part to another and then adding some sound design to basically put the cherry on top of the cake, right? So that's it for this tutorial or walkthrough. If you have any suggestions for tutorials that you'd like me to do on this channel, comment down below and I'll share them. And I'll be more than happy. I'm glad that you guys subscribed to this new place, and now we can create a community for more educational content. So yeah, excited to start this new journey with you guys. And as always, remember, stay safe and stay creative. I'll catch you guys on another video. Peace out.